So she talked to someone she knows at the GDIF, the Italian version of our FBI.
Nancy goes from amateur detective to professional FBI agent. The opening scene leaves out the part where Nancy unlocks the door.
Open the door!
This audio glitch. Instead of trying to escape right away, Nancy stops and thinks for a while. I agree that she needs to rethink some of her life choices, just not right now when she's about to drown.
This case started out so well. They're talking about me. I shouldn't listen.
Nancy's thoughts echo here, but they don't echo anywhere else in the game.
What could be better than waking up in Venice, Italy?
Not drowning in sewer water would be better. Nancy wakes up with her shoes already on. Nancy's German roommate has an English book.
I'm just some sort of handyman to all of you, aren't I?
Yes, because you are a handyman. Colin's question needs a question mark.
Far be it from me to take up any more of your time. You apparently are like everyone else. How could you be so careless?
Colin has anger issues. Colin slideshow. Colin will continue the slideshow forever if you let him.
Lovely shade of scarlet.
That's not scarlet.
Adore this shade of crimson.
That's not crimson! Colin throws this hissy fit even if you watch his slideshow for hours.
The parcel was just delivered for you. It's by the door.
No, it's outside. Margarita's legs are noticeably lighter than the rest of her. Margarita is bad at tanning. Margarita knows that tanning salons exist, right?
That blouse you are wearing, you should change it.
Margarita is a jerk.
Why are you touching my things?
Margarita talks without moving her mouth.
I'm writing my memoirs.
Didn't she already write her memoirs in the previous game? Prudence insults her assistant within earshot of her. Prudence is a jerk. The envelope with the green stamp falls in the middle, but lands on the far right. The post office has marked the stamp on this letter, indicating it's already been sent to Chicago, when it clearly hasn't. This address doesn't have a zip code.
Oh, by the way, there's a parcel for you in the entryway.
Why didn't she bring it in with all the other mail she's taking? Venetian is spelled incorrectly. The map tricks you into thinking you're going to so many more places than you actually do. This kiosk sells things in German and English, but not Italian. The bank's greeting screen has multiple languages, none of which are Italian. The ATM makes a strange noise when it goes into spy mode. This is not very covert. The police already have a security team in place watching Fango's building, so why do they need Nancy's help? Why can't one of them watch Fango? Nancy focuses her binoculars the exact same way every time she uses them. Fango appears to be drinking something here, but when he gets up, there is no cup on his desk.
I do not want to leave it at the ATM. If you go there too much, people will get suspicious.
There is nothing suspicious about that at all, especially since Nancy is hurting for money in this game. It seems the police have a large budget for explosive edible tracking devices.
I'll do my best. Ciao.
Sophia hangs up without saying goodbye. If the tracker self-destructs, Sophia is able to hide another one within seconds. The police are too busy to help Nancy, but they have enough time to hide these trackers all over the city. Nancy can walk around in some pretty odd clothing choices without anyone saying anything.
I'm just not into touristy things, that's all.
Psst, Nancy! You're working undercover as a tourist, remember? Colin is in the same room as Nancy and Helena, but he doesn't hear them talk about him.
Costa is so centrally located, which it is.
Not according to the map, it's not. Manually dialing 13-digit phone numbers.
Bayport, staying at Frank and Joe's, just like you arranged. My research is going great. It's just that, well, in order to get over to the hospital library, I've been having to take the bus.
Why does Ned need to access the hospital library in Bayport?
It's winter there, isn't it?
That's a weird thing to say, considering that it's also winter in River Heights.
I mean, with Frank gone, I've got some spare time on my hands, so...
Where is Frank during this game? Our teenage heroine dances for money in front of a crowd of cheering foreigners while wearing a skin-tight latex cat costume. This is too perverted for me. Nancy changes into the cat suit here when she's auditioning. For the rest of the game, she has to go back to the car in order to change. The club people are totally fine with Nancy standing in place and doing nothing for most of the song. You have to redo the lock-picking puzzle every single time you go to Fango's. Luckily for Nancy, Fango has a large empty dresser that's perfect for hiding in. Fango doesn't have the specialized equipment necessary to make microdots. Fango's fish never moves.
Oh my gosh, Fango's coming back!
The surveillance team is supposed to contact Nancy whenever Fango enters the building. Either they're not doing their job properly, or Fango just went up 3 flights of stairs in under 2 seconds. Fango doesn't hear Nancy running across the room. How does Fango not see Nancy here? He is looking right at her! Nancy decides Il Dottore is the leader of the crime ring based on the layout of this poster. Either this is a lucky guess, or Fango went shopping around until he found a poster with Il Dottore in the correct spot. Fango only has one program on his computer. Fango's chess matches always occur 1 day before theft, except for this one. This puzzle. How are you supposed to know which pigeon is the right one?
I have a very strict policy when it comes to my equipment. No one touches it but me. And now, you. I trust you, Nancy.
Why? She's barely even talked to you, dude.
So, I noticed someone got a box of chocolates.
Helena leaves these chocolates out in the open for everyone to see, even though they have her codename on them. Culprit foils their own plot.
For Colin, you could bug a mosaic tile. You know, a tessera?
He's likely to carry a mosaic tile on his person.
If it's from me, he will. Long story.
He'll do it because he has a crush on me. Short story. Nancy doesn't tell the police that Colin is a known art thief operating under an assumed name. Colin gives Nancy a bunch of sausages out of the blue. This would be creepy even if the sausages weren't tainted. Neither Colin nor Nancy notice that this food has obviously gone bad.
Oh my gosh, you're positively clean!
Helena says this even if Nancy is in the full-body catsuit. The culprits leave their important documents in a public trash can where Nancy can easily get to them. Culprit foils their own plot. Why did Enrico have this information about Justin?
Game of Scopa. Are you familiar with the game?
Yes, but it's been a while since I played.
Just to be safe, I will review the rules of the game.
Enrico goes over all the rules of Scopa, even if you tell him you already know how to play.
Someone wearing a mask is just a little too freaky for me.
Enrico wears a mask to save on animation. Enrico is part of a top-secret crime syndicate, but he doesn't bother to verify Samantha's identity before assigning her a job. Enrico hires Samantha quick to perform this particular heist, even though he could easily ask the Phantom to do it. Enrico's weird obsession with Scopa. This puzzle. Nancy's chess match doesn't appear in the chess log. This chess notation wouldn't work for a real game of chess. Helena's green mask is scarier than the Phantom's green mask. Nancy wears her locket to bed. The locket doesn't match the one on the cover of the game. Nico isn't wearing his cape on the cover of the game. Why did the Phantom steal Nancy's locket anyway? The Phantom robs Nancy on February 10, and he gets arrested 1 week earlier on February 3.
You left the door unlocked.
I most certainly did not.
And lock the front door whenever you leave.
Everyone makes a big deal out of who left the door unlocked, even though the locks at the car can be easily picked with a bobby pin.
I have to steal a very heavily guarded sapphire.
The police are in on this, right?
No,
Don't you think you should tell them?
it wouldn't change anything. I'm still gonna do it.
Nancy really wants to break the law.
I don't like this, Nancy. Before you get in any further over your head, I think you
I'm
should...
not quitting.
Nancy's a jerk to Ned. Why did Nico leave this evidence behind? This card doesn't match any of the cards on Nico's list. This puzzle. Reading these instructions takes way too long. This puzzle. The security system lets you pull the levers as many times as you want instead of locking you out after the first few tries. That's not very secure. The security system never notifies the authorities, no matter how many times it catches you sneaking around. Again, not very secure. Nancy can't run to avoid these robots. This is a diamond, but when Nancy zooms in on it, it's a sapphire.
You know the rules, Nico. I cannot tell you what your next target is. You keep a list in that Chinese puzzle box, no? When you shake it, that compartment opens up.
Enrico blabs top-secret information in front of Nancy. Culprit foils their own plot.
You have once again beaten me in a game of Scopa.
Everyone laughs at Nancy's pain. By coincidence, Nico gave the puzzle box to one of Nancy's roommates. This puzzle reused from the previous game. This puzzle.
Welcome to the automated directory for Sonia Trico.
Why does Fango even have this automated directory? It's like he's trying to incriminate himself. Nancy doesn't tell the police about this automated directory. Why is the automated directory in English?
If you see Nico, let us know where he is.
The officer clearly speaks English, but Nancy is still forced to learn Italian just for this puzzle. Everyone at this party stands in place and never moves. Nancy finds a hidden passageway cliché. This hidden passageway isn't all that well hidden. How did nobody else notice this until now? This puzzle. This puzzle. Nancy remembers a name and address which she only saw for a few seconds several days ago.
There are no officers available to follow her.
This is only the most important case in the country right now. Why can't you reassign an officer or two? In fact, why can't you go to help Nancy, Sophia? What are you doing which is more important than stopping Helena?
Why can't it announce where she is all the time?
Because that would make this puzzle too easy. This puzzle. Helena is awful at hide and seek. Why is Helena wearing Nancy's locket? Talk about a culprit giveaway. Hey, I thought the police were too busy to help. How did the police know to show up here? Nancy didn't contact them.
It's not over between us. Not by a long shot.
Helena says it's not over right when the game is over. We get a minute and a half of exposition on how the crime ring works, just in case you didn't figure it out on your own. Obvious Photoshop. Margarita is a petty social climber who's rude to Nancy the entire game, but she's the only character who gets a happy ending.
For Colin, he called me once out of the blue.
How did he get Nancy's phone number? Who is this person with Colin? I just noticed this one while I was making the video. Where is Nico hiding the figurine? I don't see any pockets in his skin-tight latex cat costume.
Hello?
Don't ever do that again.
Do what again? Who is this?
There's only one of me. I like it that way. It's going to stay that way.
Samantha? Who is she? You used the alibi Samantha Quick before, haven't you?
Yes! I have been meaning to tell you about this. You don't steal someone's alias. That is so rude.